Google defines an ambassador as an accredited diplomat sent by a country as its official representative to another country. For much of the world, Hollywood has become an ambassador for America. What comes out of Hollywood tells the world, this is what America is like. But is Hollywood worth emulating? Is it a good representation of who we are? Even as Americans, we can start buying what Hollywood is selling and start thinking that's the way life should be. But Hollywood isn't always a good example. It sets forth ideals that aren't a true picture of America or Americans. Tonight, we are going to look at why happy endings and reality stars make Hollywood an inappropriate ambassador for the United States. Now, I love movies, and before I had kids, there probably wasn't a movie that I didn't see in the theater. Years ago, in my Intro to Theater class at the University of Wyoming, my professor taught us a little bit about how movies are written. He himself was a TV writer in Hollywood for shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he laid out this formula for movies, and I've never quite seen him the same since. So it's kind of a three-part process with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So in the beginning, you meet the protagonist, you get the setting, and you figure out the problem. You're presented with the decision that the protagonist has to make. And he makes this decision, which sets the movie on its course. So we're in part 2, and this is just really the build-up of the movie. The protagonist is engaged with the antagonist, and maybe his love interest comes into play, or her sidekick is introduced, and they are really just building the tension and the conflict. It's building, 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 and you get to this point where the protagonist just can't reach their goal. They can't solve the problem. And you're thinking, that's it? This is how it ends? But wait, we've got at least 30 minutes left. Never fear. Protagonist gets a second wind, goes back at it with vengeance, and the problem is either solved or it isn't, but in some manner, everything comes back to normal like it was at the beginning of the movie. So, I'm sorry if I just ruined movies for you a little bit. And not all movies are like that. But it does kind of ruin the suspense to know that the ups and downs really aren't the end of the movie. But if you're interested, you can check out tvtropes.org for this layout and so many other movie insider tips. And thankfully, or maybe unfortunately, this isn't really how life is. Conflict isn't resolved in 110 minutes, and consequences last way longer than that. Americans are more than superheroes who kill the bad guy and win the girl. But oftentimes, because of our movies, other countries can see us this way. And we know that movies aren't reality, but that brings us to our next point. Reality TV isn't really reality. Reality shows are just entertainment. We all know this. Sometimes it's fun to sit down and escape a little, to watch how others are dealing with life. Maybe we feel a little motivated or encouraged, or perhaps we just feel better about ourselves because we're not that crazy. And we recognize it's scriptured, it's edited, it's made to look entertaining, and it's not really real. And we all know that real Americans don't get rich and famous because of their butt or their ketchup and butter sketty. But according to TV by the Numbers, reality TV has exploded. We all know this. In 2000, there were 4 reality TV shows. And in 2010, 320. And while most Americans claim that we're getting sick of reality TV, for those across the ocean that can't get enough of American culture, reality TV is a really great place to get it. And I'm kind of embarrassed about what they may think, especially when one of our ambassadors, Kim Kardashian, says really kind and thoughtful things like, I hate when women wear the wrong foundation color. It might be like the worst thing on the planet when they wear their makeup too light. Yeah. Although reality TV may be escapism for us, it may seem more real than we think to other countries. And do we really want to be represented by Kim Kardashian or anybody from the Boo Boo family? So now that we've looked at the inside of Hollywood, let's go back and look at what an ambassador means again. An accredited diplomat, an official representative. Now think of your life, your struggles and your victories, and think about your country, what America is really like, and what it means to you. What kind of representation do you want?